Hello students, welcome to the session. So students, as we know that we had started the modern history part of static GK, and in the previous lecture we had started the national movement for the independence. So in this lecture we are going to continue with the same so that we could have a better understanding of the facts and figures and the topic. Okay, so let's start. Basically today we have the first movement, which is the non-cooperation movement, which was started in the 1920 and continued till 1922. Okay, but basically this movement was related with the World War First. Okay, so you can say World War First was the cause behind this movement. How? In the First World War, which was started from 1948, continued to 1918. Okay, the Britishers defeated the Ottoman Empire, which is the Turkey. Okay, so the Ottoman Empire was defeated by the Britishers. Okay, and the ruler of Ottoman Empire is the religious leader of Muslim community. So it was supposed that the person who will rule the Turkey or the Ottoman Empire will be the religious leader of the Muslim community all around the world. Okay, so when Britishers defeated the Turkey Empire, then they arrested the Ottoman Empire ruler. Okay, which was accepted by the Muslim countries and the Muslim community as a insult of their religion, because the person who was arrested by the Britishers was the religious leader of their community. Okay, so to oppose this thing, Shaukat Ali and Rahmat Ali and Rahmat Ali were the persons who started the Khilafat movement. Okay, they started the Khilafat movement, which was later joined by Indian National Congress under Mahatma Gandhi. Got it? And that's how the movement was named as a non-cooperation movements. Non-cooperation movements. Basically, it has term like not to support British, okay. Second thing was that boycott British goods, okay. Avoid British colleges, courts, and etc. So these were the terms of this movement. Like the Britishers were not supposed by the Indians, the British goods were boycotted by the Indians, and every structure which was provided by the Britishers should be avoided. Okay, so this was the non-cooperation movement. Now the non-cooperation movement in the starting gained a fame. Okay, gain a fame. It was successful in the starting days, but later on it was withdrawal by Mahatma Gandhi on or after 5th February 1922. Okay, so the question is, what was happened on 5th February 1922 that suddenly the movement was called off? What was the reason? Basically, before the commencement of this movement, it was announced that this movement should be of non-violent nature. This movement should be of non-violent nature. But on 5th February 1922, there was a reason named as Chauri Chaura at Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh, in short UP, okay, which was northern province on that time, okay, or you can say the United Province, okay. During this time, 20 policemen were burned alive, okay. There was a violent clash between the people and the police, which resulted in a death of 20 policemen, which were burned alive by the people, okay. Because of this event, Mahatma Gandhi suddenly called off the movement. So non-cooperation movement was ended on 5th February 1922 because of the Chauri Chaura incidents. Got it? Now let's move forward. Thereafter, we have the civil disobedience movement in the 1930 till 1934. What was happened basically? There was a Indian National Congress session in 1929 at bank of Ravi River in Lahore. Okay, so the Indian National Congress had organized its session in 1929 at the bank of Ravi River in Lahore, where they assumed complete independence. Okay. Due to this, the Britishers got very angry. Okay. And they just not only disabled this section and the provisions, but they had also introduced salt law. Okay, which basically prohibited the uses of salt. Prohibited the manufacturing, not uses. Salt and force to import it from British manufacturers. Got it? So basically, the Britishers introduced the salt law, and in the salt law, they prohibited the processing and manufacturing of the salt in India. Okay, and they were forcing the Indians to buy the imported salt, which was built by British manufacturers. Okay, and then Gandhiji decided to organize the Salt March, also known as Dandi March. Okay, so the Salt March or Dandi March were organized by Gandhiji, okay, in opposed to this law. Got it? And what then happened? Gandhiji was arrested. For breach of law. Okay, so this was about the civil disobedience movement, okay, which was started from 1930 to 1934. Got it? Which is famously known as the Salt March or Dandi March, where Gandhiji and his followers marched to the Arabian Sea, or basically at the Gujarat coast, to pick wristful salt from sea coast to prove that the salt is naturally built, okay, and no one could have the monopoly over its manufacturing. Got it? Thereafter, we had the round table conferences. Basically, in 1927, Simon Commission was sent to India by the British Parliament. By the British Parliament. Okay. Basically, from, or you can say after the 1858, when the Government of India Act was passed, okay, the Britishers were trying to inclusion of more and more Indians into the participation of Indian administration. Okay. However, their positions were lower, but these Indian population grown significantly into the British Indian political councils. Okay, and this made a headache for the British because the Indians, due to their voting power, stopped many British policies. Okay, so because Indians who were growing significantly into the British Indian political councils, they had their voting power, and whenever they found that the particular bill and the particular policy is not in the favor of the Indians, they simply say no. Okay, and because they were in a huge number, the bills were stopped. So this made Britishers to think about the entry of Indians into the political system. Okay, that's why they appointed the Simon Commission. With total 7 members in the commission. Okay, so Simon Commission was appointed in the 1927 with 7 members to look for better opportunities for India. Okay, so basically the Britishers sent Simon Commission to India in name of enlarging the better opportunities for India, but the controversies were that none of these 7 members was Indian, or you can say no Indian member was there in the commission. Okay, so that's why the Simon Commission was opposed significantly. Okay, and then at the same time period of 1930, we know the civil disobedience movement was started and the Gandhiji was arrested. Okay, and in 1930, Lord Irwin was Viceroy of India. Okay, Lord Irwin was the Viceroy of India when he got the reports of Simon Commission. Okay, but this report should be discussed with the Indian leaders. Okay, like we had suggested this recommendations. Okay, we had found this and that, so we should apply this and that into this country. So all these facts and figures could be discussed with only Indian parties like Congress, Muslim League, Communist Party, Communist parties, and you can say Hindu Mahasabha. Okay, so these were the main parties of that time. Okay, but Gandhiji's presence in the Congress was essential for the discussion of these reports. Okay, because Congress was following him and Congress had a significant portion into the council. So that's why the Britishers required Gandhiji to be present in this conference. Got it? But in the first roundtable conference, in the first roundtable conference, no conclusion were made because none of the Congress leaders, or you can say Gandhi ji, was not participating in this conference. Okay, so no conclusion was drawn. That's why the Lord Irwin had to sign a deal with Mahatma Gandhi, which is known as the Gandhi-Irwin Pact. Gandhi-Irwin Pact. So, because of the Gandhi-Irwin Pact, there were some agreements like first, release of all non-violent protesters. It was the first clause. Second was repealing of SALT-Law. Okay, so these were the some provisions of the Gandhi-Irwin Pact. First, that all the non-violent protesters would be released. Second, SALT-Law will be repealed. And third was that Gandhi ji would participate in roundtable conference. Okay, so that's how the roundtable conference was began. And you can say the Gandhi-Irwin Pact was signed because of the second roundtable conference. Got it? But the second roundtable conference was failed because of the two prime reasons. Because of the two prime reasons, the second roundtable conference was a failure. The first reason was Congress demand to represent entire India. Okay. Second point was communal representations. Okay, so these were the two prime reasons for which the second roundtable conference was failed. The first reason is that the Congress were demanding to represent the entire India. Okay, they were saying that the Congress should be the one who should present the entire India. That's why the other parties like the Communist Party, like the Muslim League and Hindu Mahasabha opposed the idea. Okay, the second thing was that the Britishers were basically interested in introduction. The Britishers were basically interested to introduce the communal representation. Communal representation. Okay, but the Gandhiji was against it. So because of this agreement, the second roundtable conference was failed. Got it? Now let's move forward. Now we had the Quit India movement. Quit India movement. Basically what happened from 1939 to 1945. The Second World War was started. The Second World War was started. Got it? And then on the same time, the Britishers were seeking the Indian response to help the British in the war. So that's why first they made the August offer in 1940. Okay, in August offer there were several provisions. Like first provision was dominant status after war. Second was war advisory councils. Okay, so in 1940 the Britishers made August offer. They said we could not grant you complete independence, but we will provide you dominant status after the war. Okay, second thing they promised, they said the war advisory council would be established so that the Indians should not suffer the war causes. Okay, but this August offer was failed. August offer was failed. Okay, Thereafter, the second thing or the second offer was Cripps mission. The Cripps mission, which was under the Stafford Cripps. Okay, Stafford Cripps was the person who came to India with the Cripps mission. Alright, so the Cripps mission had several provisions. The first is dominant status to India. Okay, second is Constituent Assembly to frame constitution. Third is separate dominance for separate states. Okay. The fourth was safeguard promise to minorities. Okay. So these were some of the provisions of the Cripps mission. They promised the dominant status to India. Okay. Thereafter, they promised that there should be a constituent assembly which will ensure the framing of Constitution of India. Okay. The third point was separate dominance for separate states. Like the states which are not willing to confide with India, they could establish their separate dominant states. The fourth point was safeguards which are promised to the minorities. Okay, but Cripps mission was failed because of lack of clarity. Okay, and second, lack of interest. Like how these things would be done, when these things would be done, nothing of this is mentioned in the Cripps mission. Okay. Second point was lack of interest, because they were only promising the dominant status, which means that the internal government will be of Indians, but the India will be captured by, or you can say the India will be maintained by British. Okay, that's why the Cripps mission was failed. And then there was a very famous dialogue of Mahatma Gandhi regarding Cripps mission was a post-dated check in the crumbling bank. Okay, so remember this line was said by Mahatma Gandhi regarding Cripps mission. Okay, as a post-dated check in the crumbling bank. Got it? Thereafter, he started Quit India movement in 1942. Okay, Quit India movement was started in the year of 1942 with the motto of do or die. Okay, so do or die was the motto of Quit India movement. Okay, and thereafter cabinet mission came to India. In the year of 1945. Okay. Okay. And whosoever the members of the cabinet mission? The cabinet mission had 3 members. The first is A.V. Alexander. Okay. The second is Stafford Cripps. The third is Patrick Lawrence. Okay, so these 3 were the members of cabinet mission. Okay, and these 3 also were the members of British Parliament. Got it? And this mission basically laid down provisions for Constituent Assembly. Got it? So this is about the Quit India movement and the related phenomena. Now let's move forward. Now we have the formation of Pakistan. Okay. Since establishment in 1906, the Muslim League was continuously demanding for a separate state for Muslim majority areas. Okay. And on 16th August 1946, the Muslim League leader Muhammad Ali Jinnah called for Direct Action Day. Due to this, various clashes were started between Hindus and Muslims. Okay, and many Indians were dying. Got it? And into this scenario, the last British origin Governor General, and you can say the Viceroy of India, whose name was Lord Mountbatten. He had a task to divide India into two areas. Okay? Means into areas of Pakistan and Hindustan, which is also known as Bharat and India. Okay? So, he had a task to divide the India into two equal dominance, or you can say two independent dominance. Got it? So, what he did, he chose Muslim majority areas. Okay, so that's why the western provinces and western Punjab was given to Pakistan. Similarly, eastern Bengal area was given to Pakistan, or you can say East Pakistan. Okay, so that was the scenario. Mountbatten had received a job from the British government to establish two separate states, India and Pakistan. Okay, so he chose Muslim majority areas, which is the western provinces like Sindh and Balochistan area. Thereafter, the western Punjab, like the present day Punjab of Pakistan. Thereafter, he chose the eastern Bengal area, which is currently known as the Bangladesh. Why? I have told you why it is known as the Bangladesh. Okay, so that was the basis of formation of Pakistan. Got it? So, independence and partition. India gained independence on 15 August 1947 as an Indian Independence Act led to the partition of India into two dominance, India and Pakistan, which was facing the significant communal violence and migration. Millions and billions of people were killed during this time. Okay, we had to face the harsh conditions, but somehow we recaptured ourselves and now India is growing faster. Okay, so students, this was about the modern history part. In the next lecture, we will start with the static geography area. Till then, just revise the facts. Okay, and thank you.